You wouldn't know it, but we had a heat wave in Brisbane today. 38, 39 degrees. Now it's blowing its tits off. It's about 10 degrees colder, and I'm trying to get a run in. Strap yourself in. Bloody hell, it's windy. I was going to tell you about the day that Trish and I had today, and also how my first week was running back at work after that annual leave, but it's too windy, guys. You're not going to hear me, so I'll wait until I get back home. Wow! Did I say it was about 10 degrees cooler than earlier on today? Wow. It is blowing. That's the turnaround point. So it's been 4.34k into the wind. Gonna be a quick trip back, I think. 23:05 was halfway. Let's just see if I can keep the same effort, and we'll see how much time I pick up. That wind is giving me a decent old push. So that wind gave me a real push coming back. I was at 23:05 out, 20:51 coming back. So that's what, a bit over 2 minutes faster coming back with the wind. Heart rate did rise a little bit, but it's pretty much under control. Average heart rate of 128 for the whole run, so really happy with that. That's the trade-off when it's warm and a bit windy. It's all right running into the breeze because you've got the breeze to cool you down, but as soon as you turn around, the breeze is behind you, you really do feel that heat and humidity. Even though 10 degrees cooler than what it was earlier on today, it's still quite warm. All right, let's go home and talk about what has happened to my running in that first week back at work. All right guys, back home after that run. Gee, wasn't it windy down there on the Esplanade? Probably one of the most windiest runs I've had along the Esplanade for some time. I got home, had a look at some of the footage, and as it turned out, the wind coming through the microphone wasn't all that bad. Anyway, it is what it is. What did we get up to today? Well, Trish and I went to a recovery centre here in Brisbane. Now, Trish gave me a gift voucher at Christmas to go along to the TH7 Body Labs. And I've got to say, it was a hell of an experience. And during one of the sessions, I almost fell asleep. I was that relaxed. Yeah, it was really a worthwhile visit. Now, we took the refresh package, which included a 20-minute sauna, 25 minutes in the therapy pools. Now, these are different temperature level pools. I think there was one there was 11, 12 degrees, 22 degrees, and then a 5-degree pool. So you alternate between the three pools. A bit of a shock getting in the cold pool to begin with, but we sort of warmed up. No, I wouldn't say warmed up into it, but we got used to it as the time went on. And then we finished off with about 20 minutes with the Normatec leg compression therapy. And this is the first time I've ever used this device, and it was fantastic. We laid in bean bags with the compressions sleeves on our legs, and yeah, I was almost asleep. And we walked out of the recovery centre just feeling so relaxed. Yeah, can't wait to go back again. As you know guys, I had a bit of time off work recently, and I did that little experiment where I did some afternoon runs, and I just wanted to compare how the body reacted to afternoon running compared to morning running. And I thought what I would do would be just follow up on that week with my first week back at work. You've already seen bits and pieces from that week. One where I forgot my hat, out on a hot run, and the other one where I was cooked on a long run on a Sunday. But I thought I'd just give you a bit of a summarisation now of how that week was when I did go back to work. And I did find going back to the morning running was a little bit more manageable, even though I did have that Sunday run where I did blow up a little bit, but it was just incredibly hot and humid, and I think I'd already got to a reasonably good weekly mileage by the time I did pull the pin on that run. So you have seen that run and the run where I did forget my hat. The Wednesday, the long run, I actually pushed this out to 17 kilometres, even though it was, as I said here on Strava, crazy hot, humid away from the water when I was running through some bush area, but it was manageable and I felt a lot more comfortable running at that time of the day than I did previously to that week off that I had from work. So that was an interesting finding. Thursday I went back to the gym and hopped on the treadmill, 10 minutes at 15 kilometres an hour, 5 minutes at 12 kilometres an hour, and then another 10 minutes at 15 kilometres an hour. So that 15 kilometres an hour is about 4 minute per kilometre average pace. Obviously there's a little bit of variation with the treadmill speed and that, but I cranked it up to the 15. A little bit hard to begin with, but I sort of got into the rhythm after that. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, so I thought that was a pretty good session. The Friday, that was the hat disaster day. Saturday at Park Run, another crazy hot, humid morning, and just really went along just for a cruise. A lot of the Saturdays recently for Park Run just seemed to be hot and humid, and the last thing I have felt like doing is just running fast on those days. So I've just been taking it nice and easy at Park Run. And then obviously you saw at Sunday run where I pulled the pin after about 11k. It was just incredibly humid and my body just broke down, and it was like I'd just been running under a shower for about 11 kilometres. So I was just doing more harm than good, I thought, at that stage, and that's why I pulled the pin. But overall, going back to work and going back to those mid-morning to late morning runs, they did feel a little bit more manageable than they did before. Maybe just mixing it up a bit with those afternoon runs, just sort of switch things around a little bit for me, and maybe they just weren't quite so mundane, those mid-morning runs. All right, that was pretty much the week that was, going back to work and my running, going back to those mid-morning and late morning runs. Very manageable, and I think there was just a little bit more comfortableness, I think, in those runs than what there had been before I had that week off and doing those afternoon runs. Sitting around about 82 kilometre weekly mileage at the moment. I seem to have got to a nice little plateau there and just churning out that weekly mileage now. Getting more comfortable, pretty happy with the way the running's going at the moment. There's still a few little things that I'm having to work through. Obviously the heat and humidity is one of them, but yeah, it's all going well. So thanks very much, guys, for all your support that you have shown for me through the videos here on the channel over the past little while. It really does mean a lot to me. And if you are watching these videos, guys, and you aren't a subscriber to the channel, it would really mean a lot to me if you just hit that subscribe button and show your support here for the channel. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Appreciate it if you have made it all the way through to this point. Wherever you are in the world, run well, run safe, be kind to each other, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care. Hooroo.